Good afternoon and welcome to the Management Conference Luncheon. My name is Mike Grubb, and if I could invite Norman Holmes to come up, Chairman of our board. And this is the Management Conference. It's not
Got it. I got it.
Okay. All right. Just well, so Norman and I, we're this part of the program. What we want to talk a little bit about, give you a little bit of an update on SGA, some of the things that are going on. It was very timely because we just the board met this morning. The SGA board meets twice a year, and we just wrapped up our board meeting. So we thought we'd hit just a couple of high points on that. And then we have a number of people to recognize and honor with some awards, service awards, marketing best practice, and the communication service awards. So that's our purpose here for this luncheon. So we came out of the board meeting. It was your first board meeting as our chair. You've been on our board for a long time. What was from where you stand? What were some key takeaways from the meeting?
Well, first of all, I think SGA is in great financial shape. Last year, we made a profit. It was a difficult year, but we made a profit even after all that. And I think this year, SGA is really showing that it's really relevant because all the meetings, including this one, the attendance is way above last year. And so I guess the big takeaway I would tell you is SGA is in good financial shape. And SGA is relevant because we're still doing things where people want to know and learn and meet colleagues. So that's a big takeaway.
Well, and big turnout for this meeting. I mean, we're close to 300, I think, is kind of where we're at. One of the reports that we received today was from the Executive Council. For those of you that aren't real familiar with the committee org structure here at Southern Gas Association, we have 375 volunteers, and many of you in the crowd, as I look out over the crowd, many of you have served on committees or served as chairman of roundtable or special projects and those kind of things. And we're going to be recognizing several of those here today. But 375 volunteers get work done on 50 of our committees. So it's a pretty extensive org chart as you take a look at it. Yesterday we had the Executive Council meeting. Adrian Chapman, who we'll recognize here in just a little bit, his council met. You had an opportunity to step into the room. What were your impressions of some of the things that they were doing?
Well, first of all, with all these committees, you have to have some way to pull it all together. And that's what the Executive Council does. They get all the committees and the chairmen of these different groups, and they get together and they sort of weave it together into the cloth that's SGA. What I was most impressed about, they were, as beautiful as it is here this week, they were in there for 3 hours strong, working hard, making sure it all fits together, and developing a strategy for going forward. So I was very impressed with them.
Yeah, and we're going to produce a white paper. That group's going to produce a white paper that we'll distribute to the whole membership because, quite frankly, it's not something just relevant to what the committee work is doing. The committee work mirrors what's going on in your own operations, so I think it'll be a valuable document. Let's recognize Adrian. I know we're going to bring you up on stage as part of the service, but it's a big council, so if we could have all the council members that participated yesterday and sacrificed golf, you just stand so we can recognize you. I'm not going to read down the whole list, but there you go. All right. Thank you, guys. It's a big council. We had about 25 people there. I guess there was probably 15 of you that stood. So maybe, Adrian, maybe the other 10 are out golfing now and taking advantage of that. So who knows? You know, one of the other things, and we just saw evidence of it, is our network, the SGA network. Gosh, it's been around since 1992. Called CTN in the early days. It changed its name to the SGA Network a few years ago. And we talked about it at the board level and how that's a real enabler for us to be able to do things like this. What your perspective, how does the network help us disseminate information in an effective way?
Well, first of all, what we learned at the board meeting too was that the network activity is up substantially this year versus last year. Again, this quality programming that they have, they video a lot of stuff. There's a lot of study courses that they can take, and more people are taking advantage of it. In today's time and age, you just about have to have network learning. You just can't do it. And so SGA has effectively brought that in, developed a quality program, and they have quality in everything they do. And quite frankly, with budgets being tight, you can do a lot of training across the country through the network, and it works very effectively too, because you've got very good teachers that are leading these courses that we video and make it part of. So it's working great as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and the viewership was up last year. We heard the report just a few minutes ago. We had 4,300 people attend SGA events last year. I think that's a big number. That's a good number that we've sustained that number for a number of years now. But we had 7,200 people actually connect through the network and participate in different events, and that's a growing number. So kind of exciting. So about you add those two together, and that's our 11 or 12,000 total touch points. So good stuff. Okay, well, we're here to celebrate our volunteers. 375 volunteers, and we're going to celebrate, and we've got service awards to give out to, I think we've got 10 or 12 to give out today. We also give out service awards at other conferences throughout the year. Obviously, we pick the conference that they're likely to attend to give them their awards, so we're real excited to honor them. But that's really the heart and soul of our organization. What would you as far as volunteering goes at SGA, how do you see that playing out even in your company?
Well, I mean, clearly SGA is driven by its members. And so if members don't get involved and don't volunteer and teach courses and have leadership forums and that sort of thing, it just doesn't happen. So we appreciate all the volunteers. And also, if you're a volunteer, all of a sudden you get to meet other people in the industry, you start networking more. They have the same problems that you have, and so it's good to talk. And so it's working. I think it works great. And I would tell you, if you haven't volunteered for something SGA, you ought to do it, because it just helps you to learn more about just the business in general.
Yeah. We do want to recognize one person in the room that has 60 years of experience in the natural gas industry. And this person, we have a picture of him in the 1993 report to membership. And he looks a lot like he does today. He's taking good care of himself, but he's been in the business for 60 years. So Ray, I guess, Ray Lewis, if you'd please stand with Rosen so we can thank you. I guess you started when you were about 5 or 6, but and I understand that you've been attending the management conference since about 1965 and haven't missed many. So great to have you in the audience. We appreciate that. Okay, so the service awards, we'll start those now, and those that are receiving them, if you'll just come across the stage, we want to get a picture of you receiving your award from Norman. So you'll just step up this way and come across. And if I could get you to just wait over here, because we want to get a group picture at the end. Okay, so when we wrap up with the award, if you just stay posted up over here, we'd appreciate it. We got a few other things we want to give you at the end of this ceremony. So, so the first recipient is Mark Ryan with Southern Union Company. He is currently chairman of the Transmission Operations and Engineering Section Managing Committee. We're going to hold the applause until we get all these folks across the stage. And I want to say one more thing before we move on. Many of these chairmen, and Mark, I want you to hear this, so I'll let you get your picture taken. Go ahead, Ray. Many of these chairmen are current chairmen of SGA committees. And so you're getting your service award now. That doesn't mean you need to go away, okay? You've got a whole year's worth of work. We got to get more work out of you. If you'll post up down there, and then we'll just wait till we're done here. Okay, Jason Weekly, Mobile Gas Service Company, Distribution Operations and Engineering Section Managing Committee.
Hey, Jason, congratulations. Yeah, appreciate it.
Next is R.J. Van Landingham from Arkansas-Oklahoma Gas Corporation. He's chairing the Engineering Management Committee this year.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Next is Renelle Warfield with Piedmont Natural Gas, and she co-chaired the Customer Experience Section Managing Committee. And that's a new section within SGA. We have 8 section managing committees that oversee the other 40 or so committees that are part of our organization. That's a new one that we just got implemented last year. And her co-chair is George Ratchford, the tricycle bike race top time guy, PSNC Energy Customer Experience Section Managing Committee.
Hey, congratulations.
Next is Kelly Grimes. She's with Atmos Energy, and she chairs the Sales and Marketing Section Managing Committee.
Hey, Kelly, congratulations.
Bill Williams with Piedmont Natural Gas is chairing the Gas Supply Marketing Section Managing Committee. Next is Jennifer Johnson. You'll recognize her in just a minute. She's with Crosstex Energy. She is Human Resource Section Managing Committee. We had to persuade her to come to the office to shoot the video with us. And your outtake didn't make the cut. It hit the floor, so. Congratulations. Next, we have Bill Humpy with Worley Parson. He chairs the Associate Member Managing Committee.
Congratulations.
Next, we want to recognize Jay Dickerson with Southern Natural. He is chairman of this conference and was able to keep his boss straight this morning. No small task. Good job. I've actually been Jay's wingman before. I was his staff support. We were laughing about this earlier. Jay was heavy into a serious contract issue back in 1999, and we have like 50 people attending a workshop, and I'm in the back of the room. It was at El Paso's offices, downtown Houston, and he's working on a contract, and I knew he was really embedded in the thought process going into this. He had some real challenges going on. His speaker's in the front of the room, and the speaker is about to be done and go to Q&A, and I look up, and Jay is just embedded, writing in all kinds of notes. He has no idea that this speaker's about to wrap up. So I had to walk around to him and tap him on the shoulder. And I said, we're about to wrap up. Oh, thanks. And off he went. So good to have you up here. Bob Bachnick with Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline. Bob, we wanted to recognize you. Of course, we'll recognize you again at the fall board meeting. Bob has been the chairman of the Gas Machinery Research Council for 5 years and has just done a great job for us there. Next, we'd like to recognize Steve Chapman with Alagasco. Steve actually chaired the 2008 Regulatory Affairs Roundtable and then disappeared, and we couldn't catch up with him. So anyway, we're real glad to present you with that award today, Steve. And then next, we'd like to recognize Adrian Chapman. If you'd make your way up here. Adrian is with Washington Gas, and again, he's chairing the Executive Council. They've got lots of work left in front of them, but they got a lot of work done yesterday, and we appreciate that, and happy to recognize you, sir. Thanks for your work. Okay, let's give all of our service award winners. Good to stay there for a few more minutes. We'll get all the pictures here at the end. Let's move on to the Marketing Best Practice Awards. There were approximately 30 entrants for the Marketing Best Practice Award, and I think we give out 6 awards here today. What we've got on the screen for you there are we do Community Service Awards, and we do Marketing Best Practices Awards, and we do Benchmarking Awards. We're going to get a group shot at the end. Got it. Okay, thanks. And it's so hard, for these committees to pick, who the top vote getters are in each category. And we wanted to show you, at least display on one slide, some of the contenders for the various categories. But just outstanding programs. And I will say, one of the things that the marketing section is doing, they are actually having those marketing best practice programs are presenting by web conference, so it'll be archived. So companies that are looking at expanding or building a new marketing program can actually go check that web conference out and listen to those specifics around the programs that are getting awards today. So if you're looking for more information on that, just visit our website and we'll have that all posted there. So the first award is for the residential marketing category. This goes to AGL Resources, and Laura Wilkinson-Stinton, are you here to receive that? Okay. I've said that wrong. It's Stinton. I apologize. That's all right. Okay.
There you go.
The next category is the Marketing Process Improvement Award, and this went to Centerpoint. And Dan DePon, will you? And the name of their program, I'm sorry, I neglected to say that, for residential, the Marketing Process Improvement, it was for online billing, restaurants.com promotion. The Residential Marketing Award we just gave out was Florida Gas Spanish Language Water Heater Campaign. So our third category is the Commercial Marketing category, and this award goes to Alagasco. Christopher Gagliano, if you'd approach us and get your award, your company's award. Alagasco Center for Energy Technology is what they're receiving it for. Good to meet you. Brunson's up here, not Christopher. Okay. Thanks, Brunson. The next category is the Energy Efficiency Marketing. This is for the Texas Gas Service Conservation Program. Goes to Texas Gas Service. Terry Green. Hey, Terry. Congratulations. The next category is Advertising and Consumer Education. And this is for a digital billboard that was produced by Oak Ridge Utility Districts. Leslie England, if you'd come up.
Congratulations.
And our final category is the public awareness and safety advertising. And this is also goes to AGL Resources for their Georgia Stride program. Laura, thank you. So let's give all our Marketing Best Practice Award recipients. Great programs. Thank you. Our next award is for the SGA Community Service Award, and this is sponsored by the Customer Experience section. It's the Integrated Communications Committee that actually sponsors that. And what they did this year, there were 10 entrants, and they had it through a web conference for presentation purposes. So we made that available free to all of our members, and I think we had about 35 or 40 people just listening in to those presentations, and we were unable to make it sort of a People's Choice Award, but I think that's what the committee wants to do next year. Rather than being burdened with picking one of the top 10, they want to make it People's Choice and let people vote online, and I think that's a neat idea. And what they did with those 10 entrants, because they're all fantastic programs, if you listen in on those or check that out, or if you happen to be on it, I think you'll agree with me that listening to some of those programs are really just, really touch your heart, because the guys are really pouring some energy and some resources into helping your communities, and I think you'll agree with me when we award this the top vote getter here. But I will say that those Community Service Award are chunked. In other words, they're in 10-minute pieces. So you can actually go and read about, you can read through all 10, pick the 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever that you're interested in, click on the video, and you got an 8 or 10-minute video just on that specific award. So it's another great resource brought to us by the network that allows you to get information whenever, real time, whenever you're looking for it. And so this year's Community Service Award is for the Extreme Makeover Home Edition, the Remember Alex Brown Foundation. And Sean Elliott, if you'll come up from Atmos Energy is our top vote getter for the Community Service Award this year.
Congratulations. You have to use 2 hands because it's 2 pieces.
For those of you not familiar with that particular foundation, Alex Brown was a young lady that passed away in a car accident a couple of years ago, and she was texting on her way to high school. And so Atmos joined in that whole home makeover program and helped bring the family a new home with gas appliances, of course, and all of that. So it's a really neat program. And what we've done is we've invited Atmos to present that program at our safety conference this year, because clearly a message that those guys, all of us, could benefit from equally. So with that, I think we are just about done. Let me just make a couple of quick announcements. Well, let's see. So we've got Marketing Best Practice, Community Service, all our awards. Let's give all of our award winners a round of appreciation. One final thing before I let you get out of here. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. I would like to recognize the SGA staff. I think you'll agree that these guys, all of our volunteers over here, we get so much work out of them and the committees that they serve on, but we have a great staff that partners with them to get things done. So I can barely see back there. I got lights in my eyes. So I'll just, Tracy Blakely, if you guys will stand as I call your name, just stand. Just stand. Tracy Blakely is our meeting manager. Jane Butler, our controller. Veronica Garza stay standing, guys. Veronica Garza was our award passer outer, and she's also she's manager and works a lot with the marketing section. Elaine Parrish, our executive vice president, there to her right. Can you stand, or are you tethered? Okay. Fraser Farmer here works with our transmission operating group. Randy Randolph works with distribution and transmission. Gary Hines, our brand new guy, is a vice president, works in both transmission and distribution. Glad to have him. I know I'm leaving one guy out, but anybody else besides the one guy left out? Pat Downey, please raise your hand. You're already standing. Pat worked with Jay to put this together, and he and Tracy really did the heavy lifting to help make this happen. So all of them a round of appreciation. So.